Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues Raven Rock with President Augustus Autumn, Commander-in-Chief. Where we last left off, we took the rest of the southern areas of whoever the hell these guys were. I forgot the hell their names. Apocrypha Poseidon and Garden of Eden. We're set up on the Empire of Roxantium, but we're going to get some... We are going to, today, rebuild the Pentagon. Over 2 years ago, the United States military has been abandoned the Pentagon and go to the secure bunkers across the country. In that time, the facility has decayed and become home to the Lions chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. Now that we have kicked those pseudo-knightly fanatics out, we can begin to make sure the facility... make use of the facility. But first, we must assess the state of things. Sorry. Hope you guys are doing well today. Please like and subscribe. And all that jazz. Hope everybody's Thanksgiving went well. Move command from Adams. Move command from Raven Rock. Raven Rock served as well as a home to the Enclave these last few decades, but what we'll say is to the American people that we continue to hide in the mountain bunker. No, we will restore the Pentagon to its former glory and use it as our main base. This will serve as a symbol to let everyone know the America's back, because the White House is completely blown to smitherfucking-reens. I traveled to that site in Fallout 3, and there's like a piece of a building left, and that's it. It was obviously the target of a special, very special nuke. As it would be. Clearing the rubble. Clearing the rubble, we've already done that. Ooh, that's good. The Bailey. The Brotherhood turned the Pentagon's courtyard into a ramshackle training field. We have much better plans. With a little work, we can convert the courtyard, along with the nearby parking lots, into a secure landing and refueling zones for our vertebrates. Speaking of which, let's fix up this bird. Reliability and attack up. Shit, I didn't change the... Yeah, that should be it. Alright, our local library. Located just short distance from the Pentagon is the Library of Congress. While most of these books have surely rotted away over the centuries, Brotherhood records show Wastelanders were rumored to have pulled the library's entire archive from the old computer somewhere in the ruins. With that archive, we could fill holes in our own database, which will surely boost our research. Yeah, there was the Smithsonian area, there was a Brotherhood scribe who was collecting books, and she'd pay you quite a bit for some whole books. Making enough money, finally. Begin route. Yeah, let's fix up these. Begin route. Alright, how are things, guys? Super Fortress. We got the shit that the Brotherhood has now. Battery carrier, which is ground attack 96. We'll do that one. Alright. 1 if by land, 1 if by sea. 1 if by... 3 by... Okay. 1 if by land, 2 by sea, 3 if by air. Okay. The Brotherhood's idea of a secure home base was few sandbags and a giant hunk of scrap metal hoisted by a crane. We can and should do better for the future seat of our military command. Our perimeter must be secured to halt land attacks on the Pentagon, or at least slow them down enough to prepare our defenses. We should be fine. Two if by sea. The defenders and civilians of the control station Enclave was brought down because Wastelanders were able to get a single old tanker working. Imagine what can happen if we left ourselves undefended against an enemy that had coordinated navy. The shores near the Pentagon must be defended to prevent that possibility. That tanker was allowed in, by the way, because it had the Poseidon net. And it was also from She, so... Alrighty. 3 if by air. We cannot rule out the possibility that a couple of our enemies out there have developed airplanes, no matter how rudimentary. To protect our high command from bombing runs, we will need to erect anti-aircraft positions on the Pentagon roof. Pentagon? Pentagon. Here, battery carrier. Oh boy, we have to... So what is using all of our energy right now? Repatriating equipment. The former occupants of the Pentagon did their very best to loot every single valuable piece of equipment in the facility and around. Luckily for us, when they stockpiled it here, while a lot of it has already been recovered and inventoried, there's still a few storage rooms in the basement levels we have not gone around to checking. Damn. Yeah, we need to work on that, because our power generation is very much lacking at the moment. Brotherhood prototypes. While the Brotherhood has scrubbed as much of their digital archives as they could before we took the Pentagon, it appears they forgot about physical blueprints and prototypes. Some of our scientists scoff at the idea of trying to study Brotherhood tech, but at least they all got all the way out here without vertebrates and got Liberty Prime working. So there's something to be said for Scribe's ability. Oh, we could do this. Right there. Pre-war advancement. One of the last great projects in the Pentagon before the war crippled America was Liberty Prime. While that machine ended up being destroyed in the war with the Brotherhood, its schematics as well as the schematics for several prototypes were still in the Pentagon's dusty archives. We could get something useful out of them. We're almost there on developing our... God damn. It's all effed up at the moment. Is that better now? Command radio. The High Command will not be worth much if they cannot rely orders quickly. We need to install the necessary equipment to connect the Pentagon to the rest of our communication network. Indeed. Metal wall. That's funny. What do we got here? Can we adjust any of these yet? Enclave radio. Nope, nothing new. The Pentagon is back. After many months of work, we finally closed in on restoring the Pentagon to something we could be proud to call a center of our military organization, which is a few more finishing touches are needed. Citadel becomes the Pentagon. Does that mean... I still don't see a difference in that. Nuclear reactors. I think it's because we've been building... Because these require power, a lot of these things. Oh, they use a lot more power for these things. That's why it saps so much of my energy. Makes a lot more sense. Okay, that's done. That's done. That's done. Can't really do shit with these things. So let's continue on this path. Rebuilding a nation. America nearly died over 200 years ago, and again 30 years ago. Now, with the Brotherhood defeated and the threat to home resolved, we are ready to begin the difficult task of bringing America back. We're getting up there. And then we'll have to tackle this frickin' situation. We'll go here first, so we get a land. All quiet. Okay, all quiet on the home front. For the first time in a long time, the Capital Wasteland is enjoying a period of relative stability. Supermutant attacks grow less frequent by the day, raider incursions are swiftly kept at bay, and clean water can be freshly found in nearby every major settlement. Now that all the fires have been put out, we can turn our attention to less pressing, but still important matters as we solidify control and gear up for our campaign to build America. We need to ask some very important questions. How will our military grow to suit our needs? How will we handle our overgrowing economy? Just how will we handle law, order, and reconstruction? These were all simple things to handle when we were the collection of soldiers, scientists, and support staff living in a bunker for the last 2 centuries, but those policies simply are not practical at this scale. All essential questions that will be answered. And they will be, because we got all these to do. Caps or dollars, governing the wastes, rebuilding priorities. We got to get, figure out our economy, figure out our governing, figure out our military, and then figure out our building. So, money first. Pre-war economy related on all the mighty dollar, a paper symbol of value that wastelanders now use to wipe their asses. Some of our administrators argue that we should be back to this, but others think the simple bottle cap is better for dealing with our current population and outright outsiders. And I go back to wean them off it over time. That's how you deal with that. There we go. We could also, since we have money, we could start doing these. Oh, we could take ask for our rightful territory. Empire Roxanthium Seeds territory. Good. As they fucking should. Money talks. Ever-increasing numbers of our soldiers are requested to be paid in bottle caps instead of enclave script, citing that they are deployed. Where they're deployed, nobody takes it. This brings us into the question of long-term plans for our economy and what we'll use to a currency. According to our chief economist, we have 2 main options which will come to our currency issues. We could begin producing the new American dollar and steadily push its use in our economy, or we could adopt the bottle cap as much more Wasteland has. While a dollar has its benefits and is infinitely more respectable than a simple piece of scrap metal from an old soda bottle, it will take time for our people to adopt it and will make possible trade outside our territory more difficult. The cap, on the other hand, is already universally accepted. While it's basically trading with trash, it's not much different than paper money. Shit. Just stick to caps for now. Son of a bitch. Federal cap presses. If we're going to support a bottle cap company, we're going to need to do it right. Seize presses from derelict bottling plants and put them to use. Yeah, just don't overinflate the damn currency. Because that's a big issue. So now, free commerce. Since the Great War, the Enclave operated on a command economy. The leaders decided that what got made, how much, and with what. As we have grown beyond a military with a state, we are ready to rethink how we handle commerce. Industrial Revolution. Well, good luck. Let's see how they are doing. They're pretty far from... I'll just load them with a bunch of free shit to get them back on my side. Outpost established. I have not decided to fuck with anybody yet. Outside of the pit, there's hardly anything close to industrial power in the wasteland. Factories lie vacant and decaying. Most industry is little more than a few slaves in a workshop. We could take these for ourselves or support enterprise and civilians in restoring these factories. Let the businessmen do it, or we can't leave these assets to common rabble. Let the businessmen do it. Free enterprise. The economy. It's the economy, stupid. We have rebuilt the American economy. Factories churn out goods and currency flows. Prosperity has returned to America and is only going to get better. Well, we hope. I hope. Hey, his loyalists have increased at least. Oh, never mind. Alrighty. Let's get to doing that. Add another 3. New care package. Secure component transportation. Exploit Rivet City. Alrighty. Oh, dynamite mining. Of course, that play set for that mod will be in the description below, and it offers a lot more to the game if you download it with it. It's all on Steam. It's pretty easy to use. They'll tell you exactly what you're... Actually, they don't. For your mod load order should be all the map expansions and then these extra things afterwards. All right, we'll do governing the waste. The wasteland is too large for us to take a direct hand in day-to-day operations for every settlement. No shit. We will need to decide how to administer our great nation before we grow too much and get into over our heads. Hey, we got people. Hands-off economists. Trade tariffs. Wasteland IRS. That shit's funny. At least we get some money. So just keep going. Across our territories, there are various different settlements, all with their own struggling form of self-governments and odd customs. While, of course, we would want all these people to conform to good old American ideals and laws, that may take some time, and for now, simply respecting the authority of our government could be enough, even if things will run a little different in a little scrap town in the middle of nowhere. A little autonomy is a small price for loyalty. They will follow our directives to the letter, or else. A little autonomy is a small price to pay. Dealing with the raiders. Raiders have been a problem in the Waste since the day the bombs dropped. Violent maniacs that prowl the land and prey on the weak. We need to adopt an official method of dealing with them. Kill them fucking all. We have aviation. We have power armor. Go in there and fuck them up. Well, it's not that easy. They used mini nukes on you last time. Well, we got actual bombers now, so it's like the old saying, don't touch our ships. Well, don't touch my fucking trade, assholes, or I'm gonna drop some fucking nukes on you. Dealing with devils. Oh, that's the thing. Project Purity has an unusual visitor this past week. A ramshackle ship under the command of the name J.P. Jones sailed up to a nearby dock, and the captain disembarked with a few members of his crew. After a brief standoff was established that the man who, to the Dover traders, is known as the Pirate King of Chesapeake Bay, was not foolish enough to try and raid a U.S. government facility. Instead, he has joined a quite long list of raiders and other brigands on our borders who offer to work for us, or at least leave us alone in exchange for clemency. Captain Jones seems more civilized than many of the raiders we have come across, and his offer has once again spurred conversation on how to handle raiders on our fringes who make these kind of propositions. Shit. We should evaluate these offers on a case-by-case basis. It's never black and white. Especially a guy like that who's smart enough to fucking change his tune. Resistance target plus caps income. Just deal with them. Law and order. Society is held together by the rule of law. Doesn't mean you can't send somebody to evaluate if they're still fucking around. If they're still fucking around, kill them. Establish a simple code of law and the important step to bring civilization to the waste. Just simple laws for now. We can worry about the bills of rights later. Yeah, then you get into the issue. Are they actual citizens? So do they get the same rights as everyone else at the moment? You have to really ask yourself that. Out of the rubble. Look at that. 5,000 more people in the area. How's our construction? We got 3 full slots. We're already down to doing the infrastructure, which is going to raise our gathering and such. Keeping the peace. We have long grown past the point where policing our territory with soldiers is feasible. Across the Enclave territory, crimes go unpunished. Settlements live in fear, and most importantly, our rules being questioned. If we do not adopt a more tenable public policy, policing policy, our analysis expect open uprisings in the matter of months. The 2 most prominent options presented both have their merits and drawbacks. The first is to establish a national police force that answers directly to the federal government. This would give us some more control, ensuring that our laws are being enforced exactly how we want all across our territory. However, it is more costly and will be a burden of our already strained administration. The second option is to delegate authority and expanding police duties to local settlement security forces. While this is a very cost-effective option, and allows us to divert administrative power elsewhere, there's a very real problem of local policy and corruption tainting what should have been our rule of law. Proponents for this policy believe a smaller federal police force, similar to the U.S. Marshals of pre-war America, should help mitigate this problem, but there are still doubts. Federal police, frontier justice worked for centuries. Ever hear of Roman bandit theory? Ever heard of raider policing? Enclave policing. We have enough money, and we have enough manpower to deal with this ourselves. We'll make our own federal police. Alright, military. Growing military. The current Enclave military is well-suited to coordinated strikes on bandits and wiping out monstrosities. Patrolling large borders and projecting influence is more daunting tasks. Reform is needed if we're going to have an army that will enforce our will. It'll be a power armor army. Look at that. We can actually build more guys now. Although those power armor guys proved that they do need some work. Especially right now, considering they bungled the attack on them. We already got kinetic servos. Oh, I need to... Oh, damn. I need to... Yeah, we're going to hold off and we're going to just research the needed items for power armor. We're going to upgrade them. We have been doing the assault runs. We've got 26,000 of them. The Army of Tomorrow. The scope of our military operations has grown exponentially over the last years. Where once a few platoons of power armor soldiers were sufficient to achieve our goals, now we have to cover much more ground and field way more troops to effectively exert our control beyond our borders. Our Chief of Staff has come forward with a proposal as to how to further develop our military. The first plan is to make radical changes to our recruiting, training, and manufacturing to move away from the power armored forces and instead develop a mechanized military. The officers backing this make the argument that effective use of a mechanized military will both quickly overwhelm most wasteland hostiles and allow us to cover ground faster without putting our fleet of vertibirds at risk. The second proposal entails lowering our standards when it comes to equipment we outfit our power armor forces with and potentially recruiting more wastelanders to maintain our power armor forces. The last proposal suggests drastically reducing the role of power armor forces in our military. Instead, focusing on regular infantry, the general supporting the plan argues that most wasteland threats could just as easily fall under a wave of plasma and laser fire, and if we encounter something that does not, we can send out the XO2s. We could do APCs and tanks. Power armor still be our backbone. I think that... I don't think it hurts us. Searching depots. Across the waste there are secured bunkers, abandoned warehouse, and lost trucks carrying power armor that was outfit our military. Many of these suits are outdated by our standards, but will they still stand well beyond the capability of most wasteland upstarts. Securing these caches and outfitting our lower ranked soldiers with the suits will be a workable solution for now. I have 20,000 manpower influx, so I'm okay. An unfortunate incident. The mayor of a small establishment on our fringe came to us with troubling news. One of the local bosses we made a deal with seemed to have razed half their settlement to the ground and carried off with most of the women. The mayor is out for blood and the gang has definitely gone outside the agreement. However, clamping down on these scumbags won't be simple. Tell the gang to correct themselves, crush these insurrectionists, bring out the trial and bust out the rope. Bring them to trial and bust out the rope. Okay. Oh, yeah. Bust out the fucking rope. You, as I said, case by case basis, and if they fuck with anything, you kill their asses. Little bastards. Wait, was that the, My god, have I actually been... Oh, Devil Hellfire. Oh, these are better. Shit. I should have been using these guys all along. Okay, what's this one? Hardness, 94%. Defense, way higher. Breakthrough, way higher. We'll switch to these guys. Free trade. Free trade. Free trade. We're at 90% for that, so I think we're doing good. Searching archives. A lot of the cutting-edge research was lost to both the Great War and the ravages of time. If we search out what with a few facilities we know of, we may be able to find ways to better manufacture power armor, or even improve what we have. Apparently, there is something called Ultrasite out in West Virginia. Oh, that's one of those Fallout 76 shits. Nobody likes that fucking game. Optimize factory machines. Build up a major settlement. Oh, these guys are still... Oh, they're almost there. Clamp down on autonomy. And we need to build up our economy a bit. We're getting there. Home of the future. Look at that. We have plenty of... A new American army. The American army is once the greatest armed force the world has ever seen. We are still well away from that, but we are very likely the greatest armed force still around. There's no way those idiots out west have not petered out by now. Yeah, we got our work cut out for us. Alright, let's work on more power armor on special modules. Optimize energy. Internal database. We will have the greatest. Screw that. Alright, we've got military, economy, governing. Now, rebuilding priorities. America is littered with ruins and scrap heaps. Even the simple roads that ran through the nation like arteries have fallen to little more than crumbling trails. We can rebuild it. All we have to do is... So what do we focus on? What do we focus on? What do you think in this kind of... I would do both, honestly, but... It really does depend on what you're capable of doing. Because cars are useless in this current situation. Every road is completely just destroyed. And then trains you have to work less on, but they are more susceptible to sabotage and raiders and other bullshit. You're gonna have to have like train marshals again. Like cars set up to have like power armor centers, so like guys get in their power armor and jump out if there's an attack kind of thing. Very good. America's arteries. Infrastructure of post-war America is non-existent. Once great highways and bridges have been left to crumble over the centuries with very few exceptions. If we are to expand properly and gain America back, we'll need to rebuild American infrastructure. The question remains, should we really try to go back to pre-war levels of road development, or should we step up back slightly and work on railroads first? If you do roads first, you could expand slowly, and then things become more... But then you could get clogged, so you have to figure that shit out. But then you have to fuel all those cars. If you do railroads Railroads engines use simpler method to engage the locomotive, so I think railroads are sufficient. Cars and highways, I just don't. Railroads, you could get way more shit to places. Further away, too. I think locally, roads are probably, locally roads are pretty good, but it's, across the nation, you want railroads. So I think highways and roads are okay for here, for now. Highway patrol. Law enforcement officers will patrol up and down the highways, keeping an eye out for any malfeasance and enemies. While taxing our resources, it will keep our roads secure and keep the wastelanders in check. That's good. Distribute extra water. Privateer dispute. While our relationship with the bandits we have brought into the fold has been unusual, we never could have anticipated this issue. 2 different privateer captains have come up to us over a dispute over territory on one of our borders. We never gave any official designation on who could raid where, just outside of our borders. Now they are wanting us to settle the dispute, or they will settle it their old-fashioned way. Brew up some coffee, work on an agreement, or let us settle it their way. Brew up some coffee and work on an agreement, because that's America for you. America. We're getting there. Let's keep working on this stuff. So where are we at here? Oh, let's do this. Construct. Oh yeah, we can construct our center because everything's 90%. So we'll get this whole southern area. Consumer industry. What good is rebuilding America if the average American is still eating off a rusty 200-year-old fork? The American consumer will drive the economy, and our people enjoy luxuries rarely seen since the end of the war, like working toasters. Just don't get the toasters from West Coast. Some of those have personalities and dream of war. Speaking of which, how are you guys? Let's give you guys your annual... There we go. Explosive vent. Town expanded. Very good. Look at that. Growing, growing, growing. Plus 10. We're getting there. Look how quick that's growing. American Cities Project. Many great American cities were built to last and still somewhat stand over 200 years later after the Great War. While restoring them to their former glory will take decades of hard work, we can make efforts to at least renovate parts of them for our citizens to enjoy. Revised privateer agreements. In the light of our sorting out disagreements between privateer operating our lands, some of the administration have proposed working out a new agreement with our privateers, putting down stricter rules, assigning territory, and possibly putting some of them in direct employ. You know, this is exactly what the 13 colonies, later the United States of America, did. They worked with privateers, and during the War of 1812, that was very beneficial and caused the British no end of fucking headaches when they had to talk about it in the Commons. Create an official privateer agency. That'd probably be good. Let us tighten the leash at least a bit. The status quo works and will remain in place. Privateer agency. Though I don't think there's any European powers we have to worry about. We're not like a little fish. Although we are a little fish with the Mexican government. So we'll see how well that goes when we take on those guys. Imagine a stealth boy on a power armor. How the hell are you going to pull that off? The American Cities Project. Crumbling ruins of once great cities litter the landscape of post-war America. Many bear the scars of atomic weapons as well as centuries of neglect. Still, there is much to be salvaged from these fallen marvels of engineering. With our American Cities Project, we could take on the next big task in rebuilding our great nation. Slowly but surely, we can start tearing down the ruins of the old and replacing them with the cities of tomorrow. Even now, plans are being drawn up for the rebuilding of small sections of the cities like DC and Pittsburgh. We just need to allocate necessary resources and labor to these great tasks. Time to get to work. We mean Pittsburgh. We don't own Pittsburgh, do we? Where is Pittsburgh? That's the pit. We need to take it. We are so back. Leaving Navarro, many Enclave soldiers thought it was over. America was dead. Today we are a nation of a strong military, flourish economy, and strong industry. We are so back. The Pentagon. James Brown. Yeah! I got it. You always need to steal shit. So. That's why we have idiot savants. So we capture stuff that we take. Eventually we'll get to a point where we could take advantage of all these tech. But I don't want to jump on it too soon. The firm guiding hand. The Enclave faced many challenges since the Great War, but not since the destruction of the rig and the fall of Navarro has the American dream been so close to dying as it was these last few years. Yet still our commander-in-chief held strong. Through brotherhood, supermutants, and anarchist threat, President Autumn led our great nation to victory and secured the best chance for reviving America that we have seen in decades. It is not time to rest. Though we have surmounted these perilous hurdles, it is just the beginning. Under President Autumn's leadership, America will live again. God bless President Autumn. Alright, the Rock Gang. Yeah, let's go after these fucks. Just to our west is a strange group of religious fanatics that worship rocks. They are militant and hostile. This Church of Rocky cannot be reasoned with and must be crushed. Like the rocks that they live under. Do we want to go down here? Probably should work on getting our supplies going for these. Reactive armor. Now, that's interesting. Emergency protocols. Tesla coils. Thermal vision. Okay. They will attack this way. They will attack that way. and they will attack that way. So, with that, we will send everyone over to here. Now let's see how well our power armor forces act when we're actually on open ground, not trying to cross a goddamn river. Do we want to wait till we have these guys ready, or no? What is their current military? 34. We have way more than that. Are they... Nope. Go for it. Yeah. Let's see how well this goes. We'll reevaluate if things change. Which I don't think they are. 79 to their 1,000. Okay, way better than the last fight. Holy shit, that's way better. They've already... Oh, no, that's not... How's your rocky feelings now, motherfuckers? Uh, 196. Brave souls lost to their almost 4,000. Ha! Your rocks are crushed below you. You have no fortification to deal with. To catch a criminal. There's an old saying that to catch a criminal, sometimes you need a criminal. There may be some truth to those words, as one of the former Raider police departments out east were able to crack a major smuggling ring that was sneaking advanced weaponry out to our enemies. There's just one problem. Some of the men they charged are Enclave personnel. This is a victory, but a precarious one. We may need to find lesser charges for the soldiers. Congrats to the officers, but leave the soldiers alone. Traitors to America are still traitors. Oh, yeah. They're sending to our enemies, so fuck them. Bring the fucking firing squad. I'm not gonna turn into Captain fucking Pillow, but still. Into the pit. So we have this part, and we have Delaware coast and northern Badlands, so... Are they not done yet? There we go. Finish this. Billy Raiders, man, captured. Little bastard. Alrighty. Where are we going next? Alrighty, with that done, what's next? What's next? Okay, we'll just keep going up. So we already got magnets. Lawrence. Into the pit. The once great industrial center of Pittsburgh has ascended to a radiated slave pit. Interesting enough, they are run by a former BOS soldier who thinks himself a king. He will not be brought to heel willingly. Yes, he will. He doesn't even own it anymore. Reset that. There we go. These guys should just acquiesce to me and then capitulate. That's interface. That's cool. Micronuclear reactor. Restore the National Mall. Oh yeah, we didn't. America Cities project. So in the heart of the okay. In the heart of the downtown DC ruins the National Mall, once home to some of the worst fighting in the Capital Wasteland. The location has been largely peaceful since our soldiers swept the ruins. Before the bombs, however, this location was the heart of America's government, as well as many of the museums and monuments of the past presidents. Once the rubble is cleared and the wall is built around the area, we will return this to the area of the past glory. The National Mall will be the beating heart of the civilian administration. Offices will be reopened, grounds will be maintained, and monuments restored. As for the museums, they will be adjusted by our propaganda department to ensure that the correct history of our nation is portrayed to the visitors of the National Mall. We wouldn't want the public getting any wrong ideas. No shit. What do we get with that done? Alright. Our heart beats. Old glory, new city. Reduce component waste. No, leave that alone. Just make money off that. How are we on this one? Oh, we're getting close to that. The rock guys and the magnetic cult have been defeated. A few holdouts must be made an example of, but the populace should settle after that. Will they demand our territory? I think they're gonna force us to fight them. War it is, then. Dumbasses! No problem at all. Why did you guys do that? You dork asses. Oh shit, that was crazy. Probably get the fuck in there and don't lose our goddamn territory, you retards. Shit. Oh man, these guys are gonna all get killed because of stupid power armor tactics. Here, get that done quickly. There we go. Okay. They're good now. They're good. Jesus. I did that once before playing NCR, and I lost all of my power armor platoons because I went too far, too fast. And some tribals frickin' cut them off and destroyed them all. Alrighty. That's done. So the next one is Trog sweeps. As if the Raider army was not bad enough, just outside of Asher's former territory, there are hordes of monsters mutated beyond saving. These Trogs need to be exterminated if we were ever to make use of the pit's resources. Oh, we already did it. The pit's future. The slaves of the pit are freed and the Trogs mostly cleared out. Now we must address the question of the city's future. Indeed. Speaking of which, we probably should... Okay, we're already getting guys for that. These guys really have an issue of being supplied, don't they? Is there anything I'm missing here? I think I got all of them. Speaking of, so that means that I could just start making the adjustments to the power armor. Let's also get that going too. Expert privateer, yeah. Construct water. I think that's... Oh, some of them are already at 100%. That's why. Slavers of the Pit. For over a century following the Great War, Pittsburgh remained little more than just another irradiated mess of people barely surviving. That was until a couple years ago when the lone Brotherhood soldier was left behind during a sweep and quickly used his training and leadership skills to subjugate the Pit. While many see faults with his use of slave labor and cruelty under Asher's leadership, none could argue that the success that he has seen in rebuilding Pittsburgh into something closer to a functioning city-state than an anarchic nightmare. Now that we return the Pit to the American control, we must answer the important question: what to do with Asher and his soldiers. No more slavery, but they can still run the day-to-day. We will transition them out of power, throw them all in jail. No more slavery, but they can still run the day today. I don't think that's going to work. I think that'll piss off too many people. Throw them all in jail. The slaves. Thousands of people snatched from all across the region found themselves put to work in the Pit. These poor wretches were forced to work day in and day out without pay, and with their only escape being the battle through the gladiatorial arena. Now that their former masters have been beaten, they await and wonder what will happen to them. Normally the answer would be simple, but the fact that they are almost all infected with a severe genetic mutation raises unique questions. A cure for the trog disease is still an unknown amount of time away, and the risks of the rest of the population are great. Some of the scientists have suggested setting up quarantine zones, making sure those inside receive humane treatment and medical care. Damn. Those too far gone need to be disposed of. Trog troubles. Now kill those fuckers. As if feral ghouls were not bad enough, the Pit has its own specific breeding mutation abomination. The trogs, as the local call them, have developed into fast and deadly quadrupeds that hunt in packs and have been seen and use simple ambush tactics. If we're ever to seriously settle the city, these things need to be culled. Multiple proposals have been delivered by the top brass and whittled down to 3 broad plans to clean out the infestation and bring trog numbers into a manageable level. They'll drain our resources for months of years to come. However, the risk of us messing any nests is estimated to be very low. The second proposal is much more bold. It involves a series of quick and devastating sweeps through the trog hotbed, with auxiliary teams waiting to be surrounding areas to pick off stragglers. Estimates have been planned wrapped up in a couple of months, but it is not without its risk. The odds of a team missing a large nest or getting cut off in their push is not small enough to write off. The last proposal is to set up a series of decoys in the area to cross the ruins to draw out trogs into kill zones with automated defenses and secure bunkers. This one could also take quite some time, but it will not be draining on the manpower as the sweeps, and has a lower level of casualties. It still has problems that we may miss a spot. Slow and steady is our way to go, I would think. But we need to get rid of them all. Delaware coast. So who is that one? Eastern Dover Strait Bay Fisheries. Alright, we could take care of them, and then we'll move up to Philly. Harrisburg bandits were a problem we're happy to ignore while we recover from the war with the Brotherhood. Now we need to wipe out this gang. No shit. Picks up the pit. We'll do it after the restoring the National Mall. Alright, we'll start doing that. Rebuild our cities. Amish mutants. Well, I think they're gone. Yeah, they are gone. Alright, you guys. Who are we going up against? Oh, those guys. Amish mutants. Typically, super mutants are violent juggernauts storming across the wasteland, killing and pillaging worse than even most demented raiders. Somehow, a group of them have settled within the local Amish and created a sort of commune. Communism is not acceptable, especially mutant primitivist communism. Damn fucking right. Wait for them to get into position. Are they in line with anyone? Nope. Go for it. Nope. No, you fucking don't. Fuck, I hate that song. Okay, we got that going. We got that done. These are not quite done. We should have... $2K to our 47. They aren't gonna last for shit. Great news. Wait for their how bad is it now? 228 lost, unfortunately. All good. Yeah. I think these guys... Oh, no, we haven't got there yet. People of Jonestown. The Jonetowners, Jonestownians, and people of Jonestown are simple farmers that lived under the shadow of bandits and cultists for decades. Despite us dealing with these threats, they refuse to give up their autonomy. A show of strength is needed. Oh yeah, I had guys ready. Shit. There you go. Good work. Demand our spot. So we could push on these guys with these two, which we'll actually do. People of Jonestown, goodbye. Let's see if we could close it before they reject this. Yep. We got it before they rejected us. So now we could set up right here. and push right into the Crusader Queendom's territory. So with that, we will add some units to our... There we go. Just till it's over with. There we go. And they will actually cover these guys once they're ready. The greater the spot that they have to hold, like greater length, is more advantageous to me than to them. Because they don't have nearly enough men compared to me. I'm pretty sure of it. The people of Harrisburg and Jonestown are finally starting to accept that the old ways are the old days. Slavery and crop tributes are a thing of the past. They are Americans now. We'll have to accept the greatness that entails. Alright, so how is it on our side? So they have 75,000 manpower. They have 106 divisions. I have 75. They have... I can't tell what kind of aircraft they have. They have 23,000 manpower. I got 16,000. I think I could wallop them because they just have infantry and some enforcer groups. And they don't have any allies. No boats. Or they have boats, but nothing that could actually affect me. We're gonna wait till we are ready. There you go. You guys are assigned to those, aren't you? Oh, speaking of... So how is the bomber squadron? We could do a few of those. Oh, we're still good. We're still making plenty of power. Alright, let's do this. Town expanded. Okay. So first things first. First few minutes into the war, 33 to their 1,000. I don't think they could hold out. And we could probably... Heroes of Jonestown. Those initially intimidated by our immense armor and advanced weaponry, the people of Jonestown quickly realized that we were liberating heroes we claimed to be. The threat of raider attacks and extortion are now a thing of the past, and these peaceful farmers no more would farmers need to give away portions of their crop or send off their daughters to sons of raider lords. Now they live under the dutiful protection of the United States government. Yes, they'll have to pay taxes on their goods, and the draft remains in the effect until we unite America, but it's not the same as they know it. This is why we fight. There we go. They are cut off on this side. The Museum of America. The grand opening of the Museum of America, operating at our restored ruins of the Pre-War Museum of History, has been a resounding success. After a brief address from the museum curator, the doors were open to the public. 78% of the Wastelanders Americans surveying the exhibits in the museum reported feeling significantly more patriotic, while 83% reported being grateful for the Commander-in-Chief of Autumn and the Enclave for driving off the invasion of communist aliens from Mars. A shocking 2% of those excited the museum reported they don't think all the exhibits were truthful. They have been detained for questioning and disposed. and disposal. God bless the Enclave. The mall is renamed the National Mall. The Galaxy News Radio is renamed to American News Radio. And we are fucking their Crusaders up. 13,000 lost. Damn. Hey, Queen Constance. How's it feel? You're fighting power armor. We're gonna fucking come for you, Ronto. I hate that I have to keep pushing back up to that thing. Alright, we'll see once this is over. How is it now? 21,000 on their side lost. Pushing right in. There we go. Quite a bit of equipment we captured. And with that, we can move on to the next one. Welcome to the 2200s. In a turnout that surprised nobody, primitive farmers did not put up much of a fight against advanced power armor soldiers. The Amish are reluctantly yielding to our rule and will not force them to use light bulbs. They will still respect our... Okay. The Amish are reluctantly yielding to our rule, and while we will not force them to use light bulbs, they will still respect our authority. Okay. Good. Good. Oh, we should probably build a water distribution to core all these areas. That Philadelphia show, I forgot the fuck it was called. Philly Raiders. Wasteland Kingpin. Amish what? According to pre-war records, Pennsylvania was home to a large amount of people called the Amish. These were hardworking people that skewed the trappings of modern society, choosing instead to rely on their own two hands and the help of their neighbors. It is expected that it would eventually stumble across members of this culture, as the kind of society is well suited to post-apocalyptic living. What surprises many of us is the ones we found practically this ideology were a bunch of ghouls and supermutants. Initial misunderstanding led to the eventual bloodshed we have seen, but now that we have stand victorious, there's a question that what we do with the strange new segment of our population. Do we let them live under their peaceful existence this time under our rule, or do we hold true to our past treatment of mutants? Shit. No mutants allowed. If they pay taxes, they're American. Would they accept outsider ghouls and mutants? If we throw those people into that area, because one thing, super mutants can't reproduce. Ghouls can't reproduce. So if we make it a isolation zone, we could stop massacring the ghouls we run into. But then we have the issue of our enclave soldiers who have done in the past will be a little cocky and explain. So we'll end up fermenting discontent and possible insurrection in the future, because somebody's going to blabber. Yeah, we'll just do it for now. Relocating mutants. Welcome to Amish land. The northern frontier. Oh, we are not doing that just yet. We're doing this one. Delaware. The coasts of Delaware are littered with fishermen, traders, and that refuse to answer to American authority. We will rectify that. Oh, since we got done with that one, we could fix up the pit. While the pit is an inhospitable place, even with the trogs almost all wiped out, there is something to be said to the fact that much of the city is still standing. With a herd of scrap metal to be salvaged, functioning pre-war forges, and the rail infrastructure to move this bounty on the fringe of the Capital Wasteland, is almost no-brainer that we should invest in a settlement here. While the toxic environment is a major deterrent, Our engineers are sure that with the right resources, we could turn some of those buildings into sealed units akin to a vault. Then only the workers that leave the building would be risking exposure. But honestly, a little exposure never killed anyone. And is a Wastelander even going to notice if they develop a new sore? There we go. New citizen care package. Okay. We'll wait till they're done with all this. Oh my god, these are the things I was building for the invasion of frickin' Rocky Land. And they never got done. Oh, speaking of which, because I got all the research done for that, let's... VATS interface, thermal vision. VATS interface. Breakthrough to max speed. I think the reliability is probably good to have. Tesla coils, kinetic. Okay, that one definitely. Jetpack boosters. Probably Tesla coils. And finally, stealth boys. Tesla coils. Core assembly. Active armor. Emergency protocols. That. Whatever the hell that. Composite armor. That is a crazy amount of stuff added to it. And then we just add a little more quality, a little more armor, servos. I know we're kind of screwing with the but we have plenty of, what do you call it, military. There you go. 20 Mark 1. Let's add just one more to those. Do it. Mark 1. We'll make everyone into the Mark 1s. And we're building those. Still growing. The Delaware coast will be ours. Hey, one of these places should be ours. I don't get why. Okay, we're gonna just declare on them. Because to do that, I have to... rather hit these guys from two sides anyway. Manifest destiny. Let's see, is there anything... Okay, we actually have just one more item before we're at the end of this focus tree. Jeez. We make plenty of money too. This is way better than when I was trying to do the Buffalo Health Authority. I'm in a lot better position when I'm trying to go across over to here. Although I should have set this one up because I could have just chain linked over. Or island hopped over. Wait. Do I not have any freaking... Oh my god, I don't have any consumer goods ready. Shit. I mean, all my consumer goods have taken over all the areas. Because I'm rebuilding something, that's why. Oh dear. Maybe it's because I'm doing fixing the pit. Maybe once it's over with, I'll have something to go off of. Shit. I mean, it works. Oh, we got 10 going, so they'll work for a little bit of time. Here, then we'll add 7 once that's done. I think it's because I was doing these. I cost it. Okay, can we go to these guys yet? Here we go. Declare war. Let's get this over with. How well is this war going? Very well. 10,000 on their side gone. How bad is it now? 28,000? Jesus. Let him try to escape from the couch now. That fuck. Okay. So. There we go. They are ready. We will declare war on them in a second. Done. These make it so much easier to complete. See, Rivet City? See what you gained by not pissing me off? I have to get the traders done. Or just go for it. So how quick that shit is. All good. Now we can set up along here. And yeah, we'll do this in the next episode. So I'm going to end it here. So we pretty much took over this part of the Pennsylvania or Pittsburgh area. And such like that. So we'll continue on taking up this part, and we'll figure out what we're going to do on this side of the country. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Please take it easy. and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.